Love stuff, how are you? Good. Hey, Professor Sam. I was just watching a video from you. Yes. Thank you. You too. Thank you. I'll get back to you already. Okay. Thank you. So I was just watching a video from Professor Sam back then. And on YouTube, and this one was about narcissists when you're really in trouble, pretty much. So he's talking about borderline. He's talking about they want you in their head where they can control you. So, but you're outside their head. So this is why they keep trying to make you fit what they want you to do, so you can fit in their head. So how are you going to fit in there? Well, if you're dead, you'll fit in there. Right. So I've been giving video counselling to some people today, because I was saying, and thank you so much for getting in touch with me and Strathmine GP Super Clinic so fast, amazing, really good. So thank you. I thought I'd get some extra time, we use some extra time to do that, and miracles are good. So no, thank you. I don't want to be mind that. No, sir, I'm not believing your crap. Thank you. So retrainment. Editor. What's the slogan of that, Amy? Just do it. And what's Nike's? Nike is like the goddess of victory of the Greeks. What's Nike's? Well, maybe she has different slogans each campaign, perhaps. Anyway, so I'm giving lots of counselling. So this is something that's come up for quite a few sessions with a few different people. Is that I've been noticing it as well, and I wasn't sure whether it was just me or not, but it really is a thing. It's not just the people who won't do what they want you, what the narcissists want you to do, that they destroy and dismember and use their bits and ID fraud and rape to death, charging money for it and make them into meat and stuff like that. So it's not just ones like me. They do it too. Sometimes they do it too. Like others who are like them, that or even enablers, like aiders and abettors, yeah. And so, like for instance, from my context of them farming me, like energy farming me, and pretending they own my intellectual property rights, like miracles I've made, like even my cosmos and my star system and all that stuff, them claiming they own it, but it's my intellectual property rights. I mean, I created them and stuff, Doga and stuff, yeah. Excuse me, and stuff, claiming that they worked for the government, PSYOPs, which is Protestant, which were working for the government, yeah. And so that the government owns my creations and system and my dimension. No, they don't own it, and they don't own it, and Doga doesn't, and so that's another way they had of trying to fit me and my miracles and everyone who might live in those places in their heads by claiming it wrongfully as their own, right? Which is like theft and coveting and stealing and lying and false witness and all that stuff. Yeah. So greed, yes, greed as well. The sloth, because they're too lazy to do it themselves, or didn't even try and all that stuff. Also, the other fun things they did, like lobotomizing me, and partially lobotomizing me, taking parts of my brain, putting it in them or their people, or just eating it. Right. But particularly putting it in other people is another way of them putting what I can do and me, because they thought the only reason anyone was paying any attention to me was because of my miracles. One, they didn't like the miracles, so they thought they'd put my miracles and me in their heads in the form of parts of my brain, and then change them into negative. Yeah. So that's another way they had of trying to fit me into a mould that they found easier to abuse to nothingness. Okay, so yeah, and yeah, sometimes they wear other people's skins, and and that's another reason why they're doing the oneness thing as well, because everyone is easier to control when they're the strongest and they're pounding them into submission. Easier to do it if they're part of their structure, and which they might see as their own body, as a oneness thing. You know, it says in the Bible, the body of Christ, doesn't it? That's not one of my ideas. I'm not one of the Christ who join that, or the Christ consciousness. I don't do that either. Don't do the oneness thing. Don't do Krishna consciousness thing as a oneness thing either. Or any other one. I briefly thought about it, and then I think the universe came in and said this is one coming off from these people because they're kind of weird. So yeah, that's another way that they have of controlling everyone to be like how they want. So very interestingly, yeah. Okay, so let's see. There's, for instance, there's maniacs, narcissists like Adolf Hitler, who actually found his ideal group, and Hess and all the other ones, yeah. And then he chopped out their brains and ate them and kept putting his brains in them and using time machines and stuff to all meet up at the same time and interact with each other like that. Another interesting thing that I found that narcissists might happen if they're possibly borderline. Is that they might develop some PTSD symptoms. Basically what it is, it's kind of like them fighting, the soul fighting to survive as a good entity and not going into evilness, not going into being a demon. So to stay on the same side as me, I think that's the way to go. I think it's best not to deliberately abuse others or commit sin or crime or any of that stuff. Anyway, so when they're in that, somebody's in a borderline state, and hopefully they're not going to go into hopefully they're not going to go into narcissism or demonology and stuff. That's what in actually being one. They might develop dissociative amnesia. Excuse me. No, I've had that too. That's one of my symptoms of my PTSD. And so that means you forget something traumatic that's happened for a while. Because it's too much for your brain to cope with. It's too traumatic, yeah. So with narcissists, you might find things like, assuming this borderline, they might get symptoms like I just spoke about, but for the same sort of reasons. But then there's things like narcissists who might get, I call it, I think about it as a rage blackout. And so they have a dissociate, well, a memory loss from a rage blackout. And that's another way they have of not having to put up with somebody that is in their way, who might be trying to stop them from abusing others, for instance, and that's by being totally destroying them every way they can, including finally murdering them, and usually in a rage thing, and the reason they particularly like doing that, and I believe there's 2-day training course within the narcissist community to learn how to do it, how to retrain your brain to do it, and that is so they're not even in their head anymore, so there's not even any memory of them anymore, or anyone getting in the way of them doing what they want to do, which is abusing others. And so they wipe out the memory of them. In their head, they try to destroy any history of them. In history, they're trying to kill everyone who remembered them. If they think they won't get away with that, they'll electrocute their brains and then kill them later when they think it's safer to get away with it. Get rid of any written record of them, or if they think that won't work, they might get somebody to ID for them, who might pretend to be a bad version of them, or something like Naomi has about me. And then when they've destroyed them in name and any evidence of them, which is what they're trying to recall with me as well. So please over-stream for me, for wonderful things for me that I'd like, that are wonderful, including safety and stuff. Please, and then when they've done that, they just do a homicidal rage. Excuse me, kill them, and they have no memory of it. If they think it might be investigated, they might even kill all the police in the area as well. So, and that's come up before recently. If you follow me for a while, with them blowing up planets and stuff, like if they think they're an extraordinary race or something, and very helpful to other groups. Like they tried to do it 2 days ago to a group of angels on their planet. They tried to do all that stuff, and then they thought the angels might be remembered, so they tried to blow up the entire planet. Oh, so there's no evidence of them, and they thought, and they thought maybe that explosion might blow up that whole solar system. So, really, if they get to a stage where narcissists get to a stage where they heal, which I've helped many of them to do, if they go back to being abusive or evil or sinners, criminal. They're probably not going to go back. They might pretend to when the heat's on. They might go for like equivalent of a knee wound. They might pretend they've got mental health problems. But then my experience has shown that when they do that, like Naomi does that regularly, it's usually that they go in there, they kill everyone in the staff, and if they can't find anyone they can use, or that's like them, they'll kill the patients as well, take over the thing and wipe out all the coming patients, coming staff, and then they rebuild, and there's a new, I've seen some other plants, there's a new sort of mental health schemes going on, and it's just alarming. So if they get to the point of healing it and they don't heal, and they could heal but they've chosen not to, or they get worse, or they just they get worse once they've healed, and that's their decision. And I'm finding it over and over and over again, and now they know that I have systems and methods and places and stuff where we're actually firm on the anti-narcissist stuff, anti-bad behaviour and stuff, that and are actually good at healing as well. Even narcissists, that they keep coming to these places. So really, if they go too far, you just gotta give them no court, and if they give them the death sentence, justifiably, you just kill them and you don't let them come back. If in at least some of those cases, if they were surrounded by and interacting with normal society, normal family, or healthy, I should say, healthy society, healthy family groups, healthy friends, healthy wives, husbands, etc. They would suicide, some of them. But they within narcissist communities, they don't even like losing control of their own ones enough that they would give them the free will choice to suicide, which is that's sad. That's sad. And they don't like them healing. They don't like them getting better. Sometimes people get into these situations because they think, well, two major ones that come up a lot from me is one of the ways that children are brainwashed when they're a child is that the lie from a perpetrator, a sexual abuser, saying if you don't rape them, it might be somebody who does it once, which is really taking advantage of somebody's care of somebody and tricking them into abusing, and that's just horrible that they would do that to the poor one that that they're trying to get sexually abused, and to the one they're trying to trick into abusing them. The second really big one is I can't believe what it was. Let me think. Yeah, that if they're hanging out with whoever decides to do it, even though they're not evil, then maybe they might heal, or maybe maybe they won't get somebody that's more vulnerable, which is, I fell for that one a lot when I was a child. I thought, well, and this is a very common belief among people like me who spent time as a Bodhisattva or Christ, or like a Roman sort of Christ. Anyone else who gets sacrificed, thinking, well, at least it's not somebody more important, or nobody should be sacrificed. Nobody should suffer. There should be no evil. There should be no abuse. No sin. It's like another God creator said when he created only good. He only created good. There was nothing evil, and that's the way it's supposed to be. So, both from a psychological perspective and security perspective as well, and God Most High perspective. I don't remember what I was trying to remember. But me, from my perspective as a God, Buddha, etc., deity, etc., we just got to stop it. And like it says, we've got to stop all evil. We've got to not do it ourselves. We've got to not let somebody else get away with it. We've got to, if you see anything, sense anything, worried about something, think damage heart to me, Terry, tell me. We've got to work on our own problems. We've got to not make our problems someone else's problems in any way that would make them suffer or pay for it in any negative way. We've got to heal within ourselves and make the inside like the outside, like it says in Hermeticism. We've got to heal inside and help heal outside as well. And we can all do that. And no matter what our bloodline, this body of mine, which I made a light body, I sort of did it with my music, meditation music, good vibes, binaural beats, taught it to the Palladians in the 10th dimension, the Arcturians in the 10th dimension, the Arcadians in the 10th dimension, and that they all teach it themselves as well. My version of it, but my other meditation music, my good vibes stuff that I've done that's been particularly helpful to me is my repaired DNA, one which I'm going to work on my narcissist DNA and repaired it because it's faulty DNA. It's against that other creators. Wanting what's best for us. So this body originally is from I was born from either two people who are related to each other, mother getting And so my bloodline, well, my DNA is narcissist. I don't know whether she was raped or he was raped, or I don't know what it was, but anyway, so I've worked against that, and there's more you can do against having DNA narcissist, so you don't behave like a narcissist, and miracles and stuff. So thinking down to heart, Jimmy Terry asking me for help with stuff like that, following guidance from me and others. Well, if you trust me, from me, following guidance from me, having self-discipline, self-respect, self-esteem, knowing self-love, but not in a pride way, and recognizing that you are worthwhile, but so are others, and I'm sure there's a very, very real, because I feel it very often from within narcissists. I think this is really a big part of the wanting to control others, is that they're like, for me, I'm wanting to stop others from abusing others, but sometimes they've got the wrong ideas about what abuse is. When an evil demonic cult, like Charles Manson cult, are trying to brainwash someone into joining, they'll say, evilness is just a perspective. Evilness is abuse, and so you're not supposed to abuse anyone because it's evil. And so with some narcissists, I think it's a big root cause of many narcissists trying to control us, is trying to stop them from doing the wrong thing, what they think is the wrong thing. There might be other layers of brainwashing on top of that, but sometimes when a child is young and somebody uses the wrong language, says something that's good when it's bad, it confuses them, and sometimes adults take advantage of that, and they shouldn't do that. So anyway, I found when I was little, and became aware of that problem, and I was a narcissist, and I've been badly abused by priests and nuns and stuff like. I found that when I had found faith in somebody that I could pray to, I kept checking to make sure they're behaving themselves. I just asked them to judge on the matter, because I couldn't be sure. I was aware that sometimes my thoughts had been very different to what they were now, and somebody was actively trying to change the way I thought in an intrusive way, and trying to force me to believe what they said in a way that was unfriendly to me. So I thought perhaps when there were bouts of that my thinking might not actually be correct, because I might have been being brainwashed. So even when I found somebody that I could pray to, that I could trust, and just like God or whatever it was, if they're doing the wrong thing, please protect everyone from them, including me. And if you have to, you smite them. Just highest degree of yeah, so love everyone I love, in love with everyone I'm in love with, and love stuff and stuff. Yeah, so I've still got more of that video to look through, but I just thought I'd share all that stuff with you all and see what you think. Well, when is it alright to what some people call fudge the lines or do the foothold of evil thing, and nah, you just don't ever do it. Don't ever do it. No. You not ever willingly, knowingly do something bad to someone else. If you can help it. Don't do something basic to someone else. Yeah. Love stuff. See you later from me, Terry. And let's see. So my latest one is advisor